welcome to another broadcast of the Uganda Youth Collective. Thank you so much for all of you who follow us. Thank you for all of you who have tuned in so far. I hope you found it helpful. I just want to alert you that we now have a website, which is www.ugandayouthcollective.com. That's www.ugandayouthcollective.com. Thank you for tuning in tonight or today or wherever you are. And today I just wanted to share something that I kind of thought about yesterday, and I thought I'm going to share this with you. And I just want to share under the subject, which is Ugandan is not something that I do, it's who I am. The subject today is Ugandan is not something that I do, it's who I am. One of the things that we're trying to do with the Ugandan Youth Collective is to help our young people, even the older ones, but specifically we're focusing on the young people to embrace their Ugandan identity. And the reason why we're doing this is because I have witnessed over the years young people who, whatever their reasons were, in fact, this week I met with these two amazing young Ugandans who are doing a wonderful thing, who are also have an initiative to bring together young Ugandans, something that we look forward to help them and support them do. And, they were sharing their story, and their story was quite different. So the reason why they didn't grow up with a not that they didn't like being Ugandan, but actually where they were, they were the Ugandans. So they didn't grow up with that. And now, because of that reason, their initiative is to bring together a platform where young Ugandans can come together and network and socialize. But so this is part of what we're trying to do as Ugandan Youth Collective, is to teach or to showcase or to help young Ugandans wherever they are to embrace their identity as Ugandans. And so tonight I want to talk about that being a Ugandan, it's not something that you do. It's who you are. And I was kind of looking into the definitions of being and the definition of doing. And when you talk about being, you're talking about the nature or the essence of a person. You're talking about what makes something, what the nature or the essence of a person constitutes of. Being a Ugandan, the things that make you a Ugandan, there are a number of reasons. Either both your parents are of Ugandan origin. There are many reasons. There's some people also who are have neutralized to being Ugandan. And neutralization, it's a legal act or a process by which a non-citizen in a country may acquire citizenship or nationality of that country. Others are Ugandan because even though some of the parents may not have originally been from Uganda, but they were born and raised in Uganda. However you see yourself or how you've come to be a Ugandan. Being talks about the nature, the essence of who you are as a person. And I guess that could be open for debate, but I'm going to leave it there for now. And then the difference is this. Doing talks about or refers to activities in which a particular person engages. For example, engaging in sports. You do sport. You do cooking. You do your career. Those are things that you do, but being is the essence of who you are. So being in Ugandan and doing what you do, it doesn't stop you from being a Ugandan. I know we talked about this in the last broadcast, talking about, keeping your Ugandan identity in this multicultural society or global community in which we live. And many of our young people are looking to distance themselves away from this identity. And actually, I'm kind of thankful to sometimes the music, the Afrobeat is kind of helping people. Actually, a lot more people are embracing being African and being black. but there's still a lot more work to be done. And in this, I'm just literally pointing out to you, my young Ugandans, and that, you know what, being a Ugandan, it's who you are. You can't run away from it. I'll give you an example. For example, my son. My son is my son whether he says it or he doesn't. He's my son whether he's here or he's in Uganda. Wherever he goes, whatever career choice or path that he takes, he will still remain my son. That's what it's like being a Ugandan. You're going to be a Ugandan regardless of where you're going to be in the world. You're going to be a Ugandan, but your identity as a Ugandan does not have to take away from your ability to do what you have to do. And I know in times past, for some people, maybe it has been a hindrance, and I say this because, as I mentioned again before, that I remember going back when we were younger, or even now, actually, sometimes, when you talk about being Ugandan, people talk about the things that, they've seen in the media, and some of them are sadly negative things, like Idi Amin, and people, you talk about Uganda and they talk about the last king of Scotland, because those are some of the things in terms of media that have kind of stood out, that had the Ugandan banner on them. And so for many reasons, maybe some, especially the young, you've looked at distance, or maybe because you haven't seen any Ugandans that you can aspire to be. And this is part of the work that the Uganda Youth Collective will do, is to showcase Ugandans, young Ugandans, old Ugandans who are excelling in their fields of choice. And so today, just to encourage you that, you know what, being a Ugandan, it's who you are. And it doesn't stop you. It does not have to stop you. It is not a hindrance. It is not a negative. It's a good thing. You embrace all you are as a Ugandan. We have a rich culture. We have a rich history. There's so much to us. We have, we're a country that is made up of so many tribes and so many people from the north, east, west, south. There's so many of us. There's so much beauty within Uganda, and it's sad that some of our young people, and even the younger generation, even the children, are missing out on seeing that because of maybe some of the negative things that we have seen in the past. But it's not going to be the case, and this is why Uganda Youth Collective is making such broadcasts to begin to talk about the positive things that we are as a nation, to talk about the varieties. There's so much variety to Uganda, and we're looking forward to bringing to you the best that Uganda has to offer. And so I say this, that regardless of your location, regardless of your fashion preference, regardless of your dietary requirements, regardless of your political affiliation, of your religious belonging, your education status, whether you're male or female, your birthplace, whether you're born in Uganda, in the UK, or in the States, Ugandan is not something you do. Ugandan is who you are. And a lot of people struggle now with identity. A lot of people are struggling with a sense of belonging. But you know what? You already have something. You already are Ugandan. You don't have to look far, and you don't have to seek further. You begin to embrace who you are. Learn, and I encourage parents, if any parents are listening to this, begin to teach your children about their heritage. Teach them about Uganda. The foods. There's so much food that they can enjoy. Teach them about the different fashion or clothing that we have. Teach them about the music. One of my favorite music from Uganda is what's it called? Kadongo Kam. I love that traditional stuff. It's really, it's almost like the blues where they tell the story. I really like that. Let them enjoy all there is to do with Uganda. Encourage your friends or yourself. Just begin to be who you already are. And so this has been just a short broadcast to say that being Ugandan is not something that we do or are doing, Being Ugandan is who we are. Once again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for following us. I encourage you to follow us on all the different social media. And please leave a comment. Follow us. And this is Winnie Kitaka for Uganda Youth Collective.